What's going on? Hi, it's Kevin Kenny. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Build series here on the corner of 4th and Broadway, in case you're wondering what the address was. If you thought you had a great 2018, I should say, don't get ahead of yourself, because our guests are coming off of 100,000 tickets sold for their concerts here in the United States, and 1 billion, that's 1 billion with a B, streams for their music. They are back April 26th with a brand new, highly anticipated album, Neotheater. Please, let's give a very warm Build welcome to AJR. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. How are you doing?
Is it good? I was going to say back in New York. You're from New York. How often do you actually hear, though?
Never. Really?
Never?
No.
These days?
Not as much as I'd like to be. Yeah, honestly, I guess as you get a little bit more popular, you never really stay home, honestly. Yeah. Ryan and I we're renting an apartment that we've been at like twice in the past year. We've been paying so much money for it.
This is like the first apartment, right? Outside of like mom and dad's.
Yeah, we
right?
moved out like almost a little less than a year ago, and we've just been paying rent there, yeah.
So much has changed for you in like, what, a year, 2 years, 18 months? I mean, it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, I mean, we started the band like 13, maybe it's like 14 years ago by now, and it was kind of on just the steadiest, slowest incline, and then I guess over the past year or two, it's picked up a little bit. It's gotten a little bit steeper.
What was it? Was it weak? Like, what really blew it out?
I think it definitely started with Weak.
I think it's. Is this mic on? Oh yeah, it is.
There you go.
I think it started with Weak, and then I think it was really the album, the Clique. I think fans discovered like the whole body of work, because our goal with the Clique was, let's write a lot of songs about things that had never been written about before in music, and that could either go like really bad or good, and people thought it was not bad.
I mean, actually, a lot of people thought it was bad, and I think that's as well. And I think that's kind of what did it, because a lot of the bands that you see having a ton of success are extremely polarizing. So we were fine with that, you know.
Well, you guys are very analytical artists, and I say that with like the highest of praise, because you really.
I thought it was an insult.
No, I don't know. You get yelled at sometimes by artists being like, "You're thinking too much about the music." No, but you guys really you think about, well, what did people what resonated with people, right? What did people catch on to?
Oh, definitely.
What was it though? It was really just simple as that. It was that you feel you were writing about things that had never been written about.
Yeah, I think we just. Do you guys see the movie Us, the Jordan Peele movie? No one's seen it? Oh my God, it's so good.
You saw it back there?
Someone
Nice.
saw it. And so we just saw the movie Us, and we've been obsessed with, like, you saw Get Out. Did a lot of people see Get Out? Yeah. So I saw this interview with Jordan Peele where he was saying, my only goal was to make my favorite movie that hadn't been made yet. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of like what we think about with music. Like, let's make our favorite song, our favorite album that for some reason hasn't been made yet. And so I think it took us a really long time to figure out how to not copy other artists. I think every band, when they're starting out, and I'm talking like when we really first started, it was like, oh, let's be Vampire Weekend, let's be Coldplay. And then you become confident enough in your artistry to be like, oh, let's break all the rules and just be AJR and figure out what that is.
Well, it begs the question, what did AJR sound like 14 years ago?
Oh boy. We went through so many phases, and you know how everyone's like, every artist is like, oh, you don't want to hear my music at the beginning. You really don't want to hear our music at the beginning. They're all exaggerating. We're the real thing. We went through so many weird phases, and not like normal phases. Like we went through a rock phase. We went through like our Broadway phase where we were like, hello, you know. Yeah, it was kind of a nightmare. And then we went through the really, really hip hop, like, let's be hip-hop all of a sudden. Why? Like, Jews from Chelsea and New York should be hip-hop? No, probably not. Yeah, so we kind of went through, like, an extreme version of all those phases. And then I think in the end, honestly, we just, like, combined them. Because, I mean, we went through them for a reason. We liked all those genres. Yeah. And then in the end, we were just like, let's combine them all because let's just do everything we like, you know? Right.
I mean, you still have an eclectic taste in music. I've heard inspirations for this new album sonically are like everything from like, I think 1930s choir music and then like Israeli music I know you guys are really into. Run me through just the gamut of the sonic influences, I should say, we can expect. This isn't the Neotheater artwork, by the way.
No, that's not. That's just a picture of me looking really good.
A lot of people thought this was your hair. Some people were like, is
someone
that his hair?
said
I was like,
that?
no, it's a hat.
Really? Oh, wow.
What kind of disease would make that your hair?
It's like... Okay, tell them about our influences.
Yeah, we're always looking for new like sounds that are surprising us and that haven't really gotten big. We got really into Israeli like production, and nobody like knows what that sounds like, but like a lot of the pop music and hip hop there, every song sounds like 5 different songs in one, and it's like constantly switching. And then we got, like you said, really into like 1930s old like movie choirs, and the way they harmonize sounds very alien. And we thought, let's combine all of that stuff with like the like dirtiest hip hop beats and like the coolest AJR kind of sounds.
One of the biggest things that artists struggle with after they first put out an album that has some success is trying to figure out what about that album resonated with people, and then how do you balance that for the next album, but also pushing yourself forward and trying to figure out how you can move yourself forward. So we kind of went through that process with the Clique, taking all of these influences that Ryan just talked about, and also figuring out what fans liked about the Clique that he was just mentioning and try and combine them into something that felt very new and also something that felt like we were pushing ourselves forward at the same time.
Well, I want to stop there because I think it's, you guys are, credit to you, you're very transparent about that exact step in the process. But I think it's even more complex than you give it credit for, because you look back at the success, your breakthrough album, The Clique, and you might think, okay, this is what they like, right? But actually it was something entirely different. How do you know what is resonating with these fans?
You don't.
You really don't.
Yeah, you have to take a leap of faith, because I think people think that they're like, oh, I love my iPhone. I hope the next iPhone has all the same things as that. But they don't. They want something totally new that they don't know they want. And it's like up to, I don't know, some people in society, and it's like the artists and the inventors, like chosen people in society, to try to come up with, I think maybe this is what you want, and just kind of go out there and take a leap.
One of the interesting things about us is that we like to observe our generation in writing and production, and for the last bunch of months, Ryan and Jack and myself, we went back to school to kind of observe the people around us, and a lot of artists write their next album while they're on tour, and they're kind of a little bit disconnected from society because they're continuing to perform, which is amazing because they get to perform off of that album, but we really wanted to kind of look into what was happening in society and to our generation and kind of pinpoint those issues and write songs about them. So that's what we did.
I like that you guys went back to school part-time, partly to kind of take your mind off of music, probably.
Yeah.
But then also you were doing like in-field, actual going to party research.
Yeah, we were like the worst party guests. Like, what are you feeling right now? I'm gonna write a song about it later.
Your head is swimming now, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Just picture AJR in like lab coats, a bunch of red solo cups, and then you guys like take
Clipboard. Yeah, totally.
But what was the most shocking development you found that people were into, or some trend that you guys picked up on? You're like, really? That's hot right now?
You mean in general?
Yeah, like going to these parties. Like, was there anything you were like, why do people like
SoundCloud
this?
rap, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest, we're huge fans of hip hop, and I think that we couldn't really get on board with SoundCloud rap, with mumble rap. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Not SoundCloud, yeah, mumble rap, where you can't understand the lyrics, right? Because they're mumbling. Isn't that why it's called mumble rap? Yeah.
Are you on board with it or not on board? Oh, it's the worst.
She went like this, which is the college applause. So she's on board. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were just like, okay, like this is cool because we're not gonna get everything,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also I think just ideologically, you guys are doing like the anti-mumble rap, because mumble rap to me as a music fan is very like of the moment, right? Yeah. It's very like, it's the vibe. It's like, you don't even care what the guy's saying. He could be rapping about drugs. He could be rapping about killing people, and you're just like, yeah, this is great. I'm with my friends. Like, let's kill people, right? Well, like, no, I'm joking. But you guys,
what songs are about killing people? Like that's a little concerning.
All of them.
Really? Are they? Nice.
No, but you guys are trying to make music that is not of the moment. I think you guys are trying to make music that lasts, and you're not giving us a 25 just robust streaming album. You're giving us 12 tracks, and it's a cohesive story, and it's probably one you hope is going to last.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, I think so. To bring it back to the Jordan Peele Get Out interview, he said a similar thing. He was like, Get Out is a movie that's meant to be watched twice, because you're going to get a lot more the second time, and maybe you're going to get another level the third time. I think we think about that a lot. We try to jam-pack every song with many different sections that it's like, I only noticed that the third time I was listening. Oh, cool. And maybe that makes you not like the song as much the first time because you don't get it completely, as opposed to like a whatever mumble rap where it's like, oh, I get it. It went right into my system. But like maybe it's more gratifying in the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys obviously, if that's what you want to do with your album as artists, it makes me think that there were albums that you guys grew up on that were those cohesive, can't skip a track, listen to it all the way through growing up. What were they for you?
Probably, we say our favorite is the Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. That's like our absolute favorite album that we've been so inspired by.
Yeah, there's so many. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was a big one.
You can't skip a song on that album, for sure.
And it all just, like, you feel like you're in a world when you listen to that album.
Yeah. Right.
You know Fountains of Wayne? You know that
gonna
song
say-
Stacey's Mom?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not letting you not mention. I know you guys love that album. I'm from New Jersey.
That's my number one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
please
Yeah.
talk about
Oh,
the
that's so
love
funny.
of yeah.
That's my favorite album of all time. It's the album, and everyone laughs when I say that. It's called Welcome Interstate Managers, and it's the album that Stacey's mom is on, and people generally just know Stacey's mom, but I really recommend you go listen to the album. It's kind of a perfect album. You can't skip a song, and it's
Yeah.
just like describing suburban life, which is like generally portrayed as a very simple and a little bit boring and kind of consistent life in the most interesting, emotional way possible. And somehow they pulled it off, and I don't know how, but it's just so great.
Well, it's funny you talk about. I'm glad you're a fan because they were also a great band even before that hit. You know, what I mean, they
Yeah.
had
Oh my God.
Utopia Parkway's a
Yeah.
song. I
Yeah.
mean, an album, I should say. But that's really cool. You guys are fans of that. I wanted to talk about an interview you did out in LA with a radio DJ named Harms, and it was a great interview. You sat down with all 98.7 out there, and you talked about something that I talk to bands about on this show, but I've never heard a band talk about it, where the pressures of fame and success, and you compared to something about telling a story or telling a joke to five
yeah.
friends, and then they go grab five friends. Now you're talking to 25 people, and they want you to tell it the same exact way. Now, before I raise my point, I want to make sure I understand your analogy. Is that talking to needing to produce a song that sounds exactly like the song you just put out? Or is that a volume-based anxiety?
No, I think I say it in terms of, excuse me, I say it in terms of doing the exact same thing again, basically. And I think we talk about our show. We use our show a lot as the main example. What I'm talking about is when the last tour we did, the Clique tour, the tour ended up selling out, honestly, to our surprise, and everyone liked it. It got good reviews. And now, I guess when you put out a new album and you have a new tour, what he was saying is essentially it's like you tell a funny joke or you do a good impression for a friend, and then that friend goes and they get five friends and they come back and they say, do it again and make us laugh in the exact same way. And it's like, oh my God, that's really scary. So now we have, however, 5 times as many people coming to the shows, and they brought their friends, and now they're gonna be like, do the same show so my friends can laugh and as much as I did the first time. That's a really scary thing. So it's just, I guess it's exactly what you said, introing this. It's just really the pressure of needing to deliver two times in a row.
And it also makes us think about, because I feel like I feel like a fan more than an artist, really. Because I just like so many bands, and I still kind of think of myself as that. And I always think about like when people change up their sound, like every Kanye album, he completely changed his sound. As a fan, I'm like, no, come on, I loved that thing. But I kind of understand where he's at now. It's like you don't want to feel like you're replicating yourself. That's really boring as an artist, and it's also probably even scarier to replicate because you're only really going to do it worse.
Yeah.
So it feels really good to just, let's take a left turn and surprise everybody.
Well, I like the analogy because I use it with some of the legacy acts that'll stop by the show. And it's like, I get them not wanting to play their hits from 20 years ago, because to me, that's like asking you guys like, hey, tell that story from like 20 years ago. Like, keep telling that same story. It's like, dude, it's 20 years ago, I want to dive into some of the songs that you've already released.
Okay.
Is it what's this?
Birthday Party.
Birthday
Yeah.
Party. You sample a David Lynch movie on that song. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
His first movie was called Eraserhead, and it's so pretentious when we bring this up. Ooh, David Lynch first.
I
movie.
brought it up. Pin it on me.
Yeah, but I mean, when people know that we sampled it, Ryan and I are at Columbia and we're studying film, and in one of our classes we saw this movie called Eraserhead, and it's David Lynch. And for those of you who don't know him, he's a very strange kind of like experimental director. And we hated the movie so much. We were like laughing the whole time because it's so ridiculous. I mean, to us, it was kind of ridiculous. And then we saw this one part where this guy goes in like a radiator, and then this woman starts singing to him. And as soon as she started singing this song, we like looked at each other and we stopped laughing. We're like, oh my God, we have to use this on the album. So we just, we contacted the David Lynch team, and they were like, do whatever you want. I don't know who you
Wow,
are.
really?
Yeah. just stay away from me.
Are you guys Lynch fans or no?
Of David Lynch?
Yeah, like of his
no,
films.
not actually, not
really?
even at all.
You laughed at his movies.
No, he's one of the most critically acclaimed directors, and we're not really big fans, but we love the song.
Right.
Yes.
It's so funny because what he's sonically known for, the music that he involves in something like Twin Peaks or his films,
Yeah.
it's so not AJR. So it's funny that like he's
really.
sampled on the new AJR
That is
record.
funny.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
funny. I want to bring up a song that I actually thought was on the new record. Shame on me, but then a fan here told me it's actually on the last record.
sure.
It's a Netflix Trip.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a new. I feel like you guys have like a whatever. I thought there was a reason. I'll tell you later why I thought it was on the new record. But
Uh-oh.
it's all about
secrets. Whoa.
Well, it's just not that
Wait a
interesting.
sec.
But you guys talk about kind of like growing up with The Office on that song. So I wanted to run down the line. I don't know if you've been asked this before, but like if you were an Office character.
Oh, we've been asked.
You have? Okay, so give me the
We've
prepared
been asked
answer.
every Office thing you could possibly have, but we definitely have answers ready to go.
We played trivia. We played Office trivia a few blocks from here, actually.
Okay.
And we came in first.
Dead first. Oh,
We
yeah.
won a gift card, like
No,
get drinks at the bar.
A free open bar for a
Open bar.
night. And yeah.
And Jack was under 21, so we couldn't even use it.
It was, yeah.
What characters
But anyway,
would you
what
be?
characters are we?
You're Jim. I know that.
I have spent my whole life trying to imitate Jim and emulate him as a person.
Wait, this is crazy right now. Your legs are
No,
crossed.
this is more his style.
Okay, I was gonna say because the lyric goes.
Wait, which is the? Is it? Can you do a close up on me?
There it is.
There we go. Let's make that the thumbnail for the YouTube video later. That's great. So I guess I'm Jim. You're more of like a Dwight, just general personality.
Good thing.
Sort of like a combative, just like. No, I'm kidding. Who are you?
I don't know. I like Ryan a lot.
Yeah. Oh, is that just because of the name?
No, not because of the name. I think he's such a three-dimensional, interesting character.
What about you?
I feel like a Toby.
Oh, yikes.
Maybe Toby.
What are you?
I'll be Kevin because my name's Kevin, and I like that meme where he like drops the
Chili?
Yeah,
God.
that's awesome.
Is that you?
That's me.
That's
I'll
okay.
cop to that.
Nice.
How about a question that I don't think you guys have ever been asked?
Sure.
I like the comparison you guys give. You guys strike me as gamers, right? Play video
No,
games?
not really. Wait, what's your
Well, this
question?
is a
though?
weird, wait, if you're not, this is
Sometimes.
a very strange comparison you guys made because you said the new record is like Mario Kart on Nintendo Switch.
Sure, we do
versus
play that,
The
yes.
Clique being Mario Kart on Nintendo Wii. So you guys don't have it. I wanted you guys to rank some classic video game systems. Would you have an opinion on this?
when you say gamers, we're not gamers, but we play.
You're
very
not
specific.
Ninja.
We play. Yeah, we're not. Who is that? Oh, that's like Fortnite, right?
That's the
Yeah.
Fortnite guy. Blue hair.
We do play Mario Kart a lot, and that's
Okay.
probably the only game we know. So that's probably why we gave that comparison.
Okay.
What did you mean by that?
Yeah, I was saying like, I'm trying to remember. Oh, like, you know what it was? On the Clique, our goal was like, let's be able to describe every song on the Clique in one sentence. This is a song about The Office. This is a song about my feelings about marijuana legalization. And that was like our goal. And then it was kind of our goal with this next album. You'll see, you can't really do that. They're all, I think, concepts that haven't been written about before, but they're kind of too complex. Like Birthday Party, you can't really describe, what it's about in one sentence. And for that reason, we thought each song was a little bit more three-dimensional, which is why we said, like, all the graphics on Mario Kart on the Switch now, like, you could see way farther into the distance, and the greens are greener, and I don't know, it just feels more three-dimensional.
People are like, what? Why? No.
I wanted to ask you guys before we kick it over to the fans, whose girlfriend broke her thumb?
Oh, that's my.
That was your
my
girlfriend?
Yeah, that's the first line of the song, 100 Bad Days.
How'd she break her thumb?
Remember when we all got drunk?
Right.
We ended up with 2 broke thumbs. That's the story, man. That's actually what happened. We went out one night and we all got
Did
pretty
she fall?
drunk.
Like, I'm like,
Yes.
oh,
she
there?
slipped on ice,
Fell?
I think.
Oh, really?
Which is it's like such a lame story. She's like gets
Yeah.
really upset when people
Imagine
find
being
that.
like, whoa, like her slipping backwards.
It was like a 3-minute slip until she finally, yeah.
Looney Tunes, like
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, you guys are about to do a bunch of press for the new record. You should make up a different story for every interview. You
Oh, that's actually a great idea.
know what I mean? Some fan will
I'm gonna
super
take
cut
that.
it.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, let's kick it. Speaking of fans, we got a bunch of questions we'll get to. First one's gonna come.
Hi,
over here.
guys.
What's your name?
I'm Victoria. Hello. So first, I just want to say I bought tickets for the new show. I'm ready. I'm excited.
What show are you coming to?
Radio City.
Oh, Radio
City.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm ready.
Cool.
But I saw your Instagram post about the show, right? You said that you're gonna go crazy, like 1,000 times bigger and better, right? So can you guys give a hint, like what the show?
This is such a good question. Thank you for that. Usually the first questions are the hat. Tell us about the hat. Thank you for not asking about the hat. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we really meant that actually. The show is really, really important to us, and we find it so fun to make such a crazy show. The other day, we give so many examples, but the other day we saw the Harry Potter Broadway show, Cursed Child,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. And we came away from it being like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that on Broadway. And then we realized, like, why not just do that in a concert? Like, why not have people walk away saying, I've never seen anything like that in a concert? That's just the coolest feeling ever. So we scrapped everything from the Clique tour, any like crazy production or transition, and we really started from scratch. So it's going to be a completely new show with new surprises and new transitions, and it's going to be like half concert, half kind of Broadway show for you. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't really give you anything specific
Yeah.
because I really don't want to. Because
fine,
it's
it's fine.
it just if you think about it, it's honestly this is so pretentious, but I feel like it's like when a magician tells me how he does the trick, and then I'm like, oh, awesome, I know how he did it. Like,
Yeah.
if I ruin something for you, it's gonna ruin the impact of the first time. No, I need need you to wait, man. Come on.
Relax.
Jesus, sit down. Yeah.
Sorry about her. No. Hey, it's a great time for Broadway, right? Like I feel like
Right,
with
yeah.
Greatest Showman and
Right, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Brendan Urie's basically just Broadway
He's
now.
just yeah,
you know?
he is.
All right, let's get to the second fan question.
Oh
Here
yeah.
we go over here.
Hello, gentlemen. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. This is going to take a little setting up. So, you guys have a song called Turn It Out. Banger. Love it. You also have a music video, animation. Also, love it. Well done. If you
Thank
haven't
you.
seen it yet, check it out.
Jesus.
It ends a bit open-ended, and I'd like some clarification if possible.
Sure.
The young man pushes himself, doesn't really push himself, falls away from the space station, rather.
Wasn't really voluntary, yeah.
Yeah. And he goes missing, and little Miss goes to follow him. So, 3 possibilities I've come up with.
What do we got? Yeah.
1, he's dead, but she jumps out to follow him, and they both die in space together. 2, he's gonna die. She's not gonna sacrifice herself, but he has a moment of euphoria, and his dream is this girl. Throughout the music video, they're falling deeper and deeper in love, and he says, "You know what? Before I die, I just want her." Boom, she's there. And 3, she goes out. She catches up with him, miraculously saves him. Resolution.
And it's a perfect ending.
Well,
Indeed.
So you know how you thought so much about those 3 things? You probably spent a lot of time. That's why we're not going to tell you what the actual
Yeah.
ending is. Because that's so fun. It's so fun when fans come up to us saying this could be it. This could be
I
it.
can appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh my God, that's the only reason he came today too, and it just didn't. He just didn't get it. Yeah.
To be honest, for people who aren't fans of David Lynch, that was a very David Lynch response. He's like the king of open-ended,
Oh,
you know,
totally,
filmmaking, and
yeah.
like, no one knows the ending. So
Yeah,
Just
isn't
watch
it so
Twin
fun to
Peaks.
talk about? No, I think this happened. No, I think this happened. That's like the best thing about art,
Right.
you know?
What is your pick?
Before he died, he gonna die, and she's not gonna risk her life. She knows space. He's dead. So
You've got a
he had
great
euphoria.
vernacular.
She already
going
has a new
on. It's really
boyfriend.
strong.
She is his Grim Reaper, bringing him safely, comfortably into the afterlife.
Wow, it's kind of like AJR fan fiction.
Oh
Brought to
my
you by
God.
Rhyme or
Joking.
Read some of that. Yeah. Wow.
That's a callback. Never mind. Another thing I'll explain after the show. Let's get to the final fan question. It'll come from right up front.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I was at the show in December. Do you remember me? I was in the front.
Of course I remember you, Nicole.
Do you actually?
How could I forget Nicole? Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, I promise. I remember you.
Okay, so I watched the videos on YouTube where you guys explain how you've come up with some of your songs, and I find it really interesting because I like seeing the thought process, how people come up with the lyrics, because I'm like very much a lyric person, and I want to know how long it takes you on average to write the song and like where you get your inspiration from.
Great, really great questions, guys. It's really different for every single song. I can give you a generalization. I think, in general, we like to start with concepts first. I think that's when we write the strongest songs. I think weak was like we came up with I'm weak and or I should say strong, but I'm weak and what's wrong with that. That was the first thing we did. And that ended up being a song that people connected with. So from the start to the finish, when we come up with the concept, when it's done, it could take anywhere from 15 minutes, and that's real, to over a year. There's a song on the new album called Beats, and that we came up with this idea for the song that you'll hear when it comes out, I think, at the very beginning of the album, and we finished it, I think, a couple days before the album was supposed to be submitted when it was done. So honestly, there's no exact answer. But if you're a songwriter, I would suggest starting with like a clear concept first and then go from there. That works for us.
Thanks, Nicole.
Yeah, great question.
All right, we are unfortunately out of time. But I do want to mention that the tickets to the show, the tour this year, are on sale right now. What are we calling this? It's the Neotheater.
Yeah, the Neotheater, it's a world tour now. We don't really go international, or we haven't really been that much, and now we're kind of starting to branch out there. So we're going to Europe and, yeah, doing a little world tour. The Neotheater World Tour.
And we can go online where?
Yeah, AJRbrothers.com. You'll find the tickets there. Just any of our social media stuff, you'll see it there.
Nice,
Yeah,
right
come.
on.
It's going to be really, it'll be interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you'll have fun.
We think. No, they will have fun. Guys, thanks so much. One more time for AJR.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.